Whites. A sterile, clean white for a sterile, clean room. My eyes open, and I simply stare at the ceiling for some time. It's about as interesting as the... What? What is that faint music? Oh, it's the music. Wait. Didn't he give that music box to Lilly, though? Man, it was so long ago, but I just remembered that. Wow. You know, like all these kind of descriptions of the surroundings? I've always been bad at that when it comes to writing, so I'm kind of impressed when people can like write so effortlessly, like describe the surroundings and all that. I mean, this visual novel, it shows the surroundings to an extent, you know? But the way they can like go into detail about it, it's just kind of like... I'm not very good at describing like stuff like that. It's usually kind of just back and forth anyway. My eyes and I simply stare at the ceiling for some time. It's about as interesting as the television would be. Should be as mounted in its metal rack hanging off the ceiling ahead of the bed. Indeed, the television saw its entire use during the time my parents were here, left on quietly as they waited for me to wake. It was about as banal as it had been the first time I'd end up in hospital. Earlier today, an attending nurse had offered to turn off the EKG's speakers. I refused simply because the sound is so entirely normal to me now. It's almost comforting in a way. The metronome-like regularity gives at least some feeling that time is moving, even in a place such as this. No, that's... no. Just like that. Let's pick up the pace. Let's go to 176. Oh, it's not winded up enough for that? Oh, wait, it is. 160! No, 176 beats per minute. Yeah, it needs to be winded up more for that. Really should use this metronome more. It's like the one thing that I'm crap at, one of the things I've like always had trouble with when it comes to music is playing on time. Because I've always had trouble with that. It's almost comforting in a way. The metronome regularity gives at least some feeling that time is moving, even in a place such as this. After some time listening to its peeping while I fully awaken, though, I realize there's another sound in the room. Concentrating all my efforts on listening, a task made rather easy by the lack of distractions, a tiny melody can be heard. Wait! Maybe this was the melody she was humming to him. Maybe. And that's why he thought it sounded familiar but couldn't place it. Light and quiet, the music sounds almost fragile, as it's dwarfed by the EKG's pulses. Tilting my head just slightly to the side in an effort to see the source of the melody without dislodging any of the sensors and pipes stuck onto me, I noticed a little wooden box sitting on a nightstand next to the bed. My mouth opened just slightly while I silently watched the tiny yellow metal drum slowly rotate inside. The little bumps on its surface gradually moving in and out of sight. This music box, it's the one I gave. The creaking of the door breaks me out of my reverie, my head and heart remaining still as my eyes turn to see who comes through. Long tan skirts, pinch off the shoulder sweater, pale, almost sparkling skin, blue clouded eyes and long yellow hair. All I can do is stare as Lily slowly walks into the room, her fingers lightly running over the wall for orientation, and my mind comes to a shuddering halt. Lily! She stops mid-stride, her entire body tensing. Sal, was that you? Her voice is quiet and pensive, echoing her expression. I thought you were... Lily takes one pensive step forward, then another, as if she were holding herself back. Her control over her composure is for naught, though, and she finally rushes over to where I lay as the last of her resistance falls. Ah! I'm slightly taken aback when she grabs hold of me, hunching over as tears begin to fall from her cheeks. and it's only minutes ago I thought she was on the other side of the world. Bird! After a moment of hesitation, I rest my hand on her soft shoulder. Sal! It's Hal! Lily's body trembles as her tears blot the dark blue sheets, emotions flooding through her carefully maintained exterior. I voiced her a bit differently there, to be honest. Bird! With her face now closer and made easier to see for her pale skin being licked by the sunlight from the window, I notice her cheeks being redder than they should be. It's okay, Lily. Okay, you don't need to. She rights herself quickly, her crying forcefully stifled with both sadness and stubbornness remaining in her moistened eyes. Her prideful nature, always having been something to contend with, takes me off guard. So tell me not to worry about you, Sal. Just this once, let me cry. I'm caught speechless. She waits for our response, but her composure breaks again after a handful of seconds. I swallow hard to try and settle my own emotions while she weeps onto my bed, a strange mixture of relief and depression welling up. Lily's here. She's really here. If I couldn't feel her skin under my hand, I'd hardly believe my own eyes. My efforts went for nothing. My body's attempts to take away everything that was important to me once again has been foiled. But now, I don't feel as happy about it as I thought I would. Seeing her here, crying like this over me, is the one thing I wanted to avoid since coming to love her. No, even since leaving the hospital. Sorry, Lily, it's my fault I'm here. I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far. I gave a self-deprecating snort. After months of keeping myself together so nobody to worry over me, I went and did something like this. Yes, I'm pretty dumb. With a couple of sniffs, a lot of sniffs for me, but not out of it like, it's so sad, but more of, bloody cold. Here's a nice scene though, with a couple of sniffs and a long breath. Lily manages to pull herself together and calm down a little. Despite her red cheeks, moist eyes, and the lines of her tears still visible, she delicately wears that weak smile she seemed to so often give. You needn't blame yourself. I heard later that it happened as you were running down the road after me, right? Still, she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, returning more to her old self as the rush of emotions wears off. Yeah, that, and me voice acting her with the voice I always have given her. Why did you run after me, Sal? I moved to respond, but noticed her face tightening. Even after I'd said goodbye, and I'd left Yamaku Academy. She takes a moment to steady herself, her emotions almost bubbling up once again. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Sorry? For the times when I wasn't there when you needed me. Until now, I thought you just being there would be enough. I'll need you by my side to make any day feel better. Even if my body may be like this, I want to help you, Lily, to be there when you need someone. But you always were there, Sal. Why did you want to go to Scotland, Lily? Why, I told you before, because Akra was going and because of my family's summons to their home. Why didn't you say that you wanted to go? I'm not stubborn often, but this one time I think I need to be. I want you to stay here, Lily. I want you to stay where everyone you know lives and where all your dreams and ambitions were made. If you choose to stay, I'll never leave your side. I won't let you lose another person. When I had my heart attack, I was snatched away from everyone and everywhere I knew. You showed me a new life after I came to Maku. I had lost my past, but you showed me a future. It's true that I hadn't always been there for you. I'm unreliable sometimes, I lied, and I thought I'd come to understand you when I hadn't even understood myself. Be that as it may, I want to give you a future as well. I want to be there for you, to share both your burdens and your happiness, just like I promised back in Hokkaido. I want you to trust me. I know I had problems coming to put my trust in you after losing so many people I'd known after my heart attack, but that's how I know that being unable to trust others can feel awful. That's why I can't watch you just throw everything away like this. I never want you to go through what I did. I would do anything to stop that. You can be quite steadfast when you want to be, can't you? As I said, it isn't often. My weak smile drops, so as the IV in my arm digs in a little, it's a harsh reminder of my tether to my condition. Lily's face tenses as I let out a small gasp of pain, immediately making me wish I'd stifled it better. All I can do is sigh in defeat. I tried not to let anyone worry over me for the entire time since I left the hospital, but I can't even stop the one person I love most from crying over me. Even if I might finally be able to put my feelings into words, I feel pretty useless with a body like this. Every time I try to reach towards something, it's just snatched away, and even now things only turn out for the better due to luck. And the birds ruining the scene. That's my job, bird. I guess that's something else I should apologize for. All I can ever do is make you worry. Even now, there's very little chance I'll live anywhere near a full life. The feeling of Lily's warm, soft hand moving over my left cheek makes me lift my head up, her smile gentle and warm as she touches me. I think that is something very natural for you to say. You're always so sincere and self-conscious. You're always reserved and mild-mannered, and patient to a fault with Hanako, yet curious about everything and everyone. When I said I missed you while I was with my family, I wasn't lying nor exaggerating. The thought of you was never far from my mind, and helped me through that time. That's why I was so confused about what to do when my family summoned me. Even after I thought I had made my decision, you tried your hardest to challenge me about it. I didn't confess to you out of pity or believing you were somehow different from what you are. I confessed because I never want to lose you, and want you to always be a part of my life, no matter what might change. You're a very beautiful person, Asao. Your heart changes none of that, so please, don't apologize for yourself anymore. For a long time, silence reigns in the room. I'm not really sure what this newly born feeling inside of me is, but it pales into insignificance as I wordlessly gaze at Lily's smiling face, warm and gentle as it has always been. It's only as her thumb crosses my cheek, wiping away a single drop of moisture, that I realize this is all I've ever wanted. For what feels like the first time, I give an earnest, wide smile. As Lily feels it against her palm, she returns the gesture. More time passes before either says a word, neither of us needing speech to communicate our feelings to each other. I know I can't promise you that I'll always be around, or that we'll be together forever. With some difficulty, I slowly lift my hand, placing it on her pale shoulder. But I think I can at least take you to next year's Tanabata Festival to make up for making you miss this year's. Lily's expression is one of surprise, though I can't say I blame her. You remembered that? I've got a pretty good memory, sometimes. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? You gotta have terrible memory, but some things just stand out in the mind. She raises her hand a little and takes her hand from my cheek, giving a small amused giggle. I smile absent-mindedly at how earnest it is, almost girlish in its lightness. Bird? I think the bird likes this music box because the bird seems to like chirping to it. Still smiling warmly, she collects herself and stands upright with her hand resting on my chest. It feels like I'm seeing her for the first time, the sun from the window glowing behind her just as it did when I first walked into that room where she was drinking tea. Very well then, shall we make it a promise between the both of us to go to next year's Tanabata together? Even if she can't see me doing so, I nod approvingly. I promise. I promise. Where? Oh. Ah. Is that the ending? Felt a little abrupt. I was expecting a little bit extra than that. I'm gonna have to check CG. Concept, the original designs. Nice. Thanks to all these people that didn't use their real names. Kick. We thank the VCR for always being there when we need to record stuff before DVDs. For Leaf Studios! That was a good route. And the final route is LB. Man, it feels sudden after that. But wow, that was a good route. Glad I saved it for last. Oh wait, it ain't over yet! Final scene! I knew it. It had to be. Wait, what? Akira, Lily and I silently sit on the grassy embankment high above the local town, the breeze gently blowing through the cloudless sky. Is this like a bonus scene? Forwards with gusto! We may be just a few minutes' walk from town, on a hill just outside its limits, but the view is entirely unexpected. Lily sits beside me, her eyes closed as a gentle breeze flows through her hair. This is a nice area. Yeah, I never knew a place like this was anywhere near Yamaku. And I had to be the one to find it, of course. Akira's grin is genuine, but her tone is slightly different from her usual carefree nature. It's good that you're out of the hospital though, Sal. Nobody's more glad than I am. I can't stand hospitals. So you two going back to school tomorrow? Yep. Yeah. Akira chuckles in amusement before looking back out the town below, the trees between the buildings swaying in the wind. Pity we couldn't go up north for the summer holidays or get to Tanabana. I wouldn't worry, there's always next time. You'll be graduating before the next summer vacation, won't you? Yeah, there'll still be college after that, mind. You on the same one? Likely, we both have high enough scores to meet the entry requirements. You sound so sure. Don't worry, you're better than I in most subjects. I guess we'll work it out in due time. That's the way, just enjoy yourselves in Maka while you're there. Lily gives a sad sigh, the distinction made between Akira and the two of us. Do you really need to go back to Scotland? Yeah, the folks are already out for my blood as it is. You weren't meant to stay this long? She gives her trademark wide grin. Setting my boyfriend up with a passport took some time. You're taking him with you? Just for a while at first. Surprisingly worldly guy, so I think he'll do just fine. Akira gives an amused note. If our father had his way, I'd have gone a long while ago. I just couldn't pass up an excuse to stay with my favourite little sister a little while longer, though. Ah, so is even she gonna stick with her boyfriend as well? That's kind of ended up turning out just fine, isn't it? She leans right and gives Lily a tight, playful hug, cheering her up considerably. It's nice to be with you one last time, though. For what it's worth, I'm in the same boat. Oh, thanks, you two. I'll try and come back sometime, don't worry. It's a shame that the business keeps you so busy. The place won't run itself, I'm afraid. I think it's going to be just the same over there. Considering that, I'd better get going. Have fun over there, Akira. Will do. With a slight grunt, she lifts herself with her hands and stands up, dusting herself off as she does so. Well, I'd better be off. The plane won't wait for me after all. She has a certain unusual wistfulness in her tone of voice, her eyes firmly planted on her sister. I'll be okay, Akira. Yeah, I know. Come now, it isn't that bad. You'll be able to see us again soon. It's strange to have Lily reassuring a doubt in Akira for once. She really has changed. Goodbye, Akira. Bye. For a second, the dark-clad figure looks down at the both of us, smiling widely, perhaps more widely than I've ever seen her do before. She lets out a long, slightly wavering breath to steady herself before leaving, eventually slips her hand in her pocket and turns on her heel. And with that, she walks away, one hand held in the air as she goes. See you later, you two. A jazz tune with no beat, melody or direction to the very ends. A jazz tune with no beat, melody or direction? That sounds like something I'd play well. It's just like when I improvise. There's a melody and all that, but there's no real direction, and there's certainly not a beat in the background, because I don't play drums or anything. But that's not exactly, I don't know. You know, in the New Year video, I actually did play the drums for one bit, actually, but it's on my keyboard, like drum setting, and it was just absolutely chaotic. It reminds me of a video I saw titled on YouTube something like "Drummers at the Wrong Gig," where the drummer's just going nuts on the drums, like boom, boom. Well, it's a real simple track. Everyone's all like kind of just playing it like normal. The drummer's going completely crazy on the drums in the background. That's exactly how it ended up turning out. Just like ridiculous drums all over the place. After a few moments of sitting silently, Leila and I pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off. Turning towards her with a broad smile, I hold out my hand. Shall we be off then? She takes my hand in hers with a gentle nod and a smile as beautiful and warm as ever. Indeed we shall, Miss Al. As we set off towards the school, that wonderful smile engraven itself onto my memory, that wonderful smile that we both share. Our paths may be scattered and at times overshadowed by sadness, but they're also an integral part of our lives and personalities. Even if I could change a single thing, I wouldn't, because my past was what led me here. That's why, even with all that's happened to us before, and all that may well befall us, together we'll keep walking forwards. Forwards towards the future, our future. Beautiful! But the odd thing is, I remember seeing like an image like showing like someone's like what these images going up here. Maybe it's a different version, I know. I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. Man, why do I always sit awkwardly? I'm not going to like record the final part where I go over all the CGs and all that, but I want to check some in your gallery. Actually, first, let's check library. Is it 100? Yep, 100% now. Lilly and his house of Akira. Lilly rejoins and saw the two beginning their life together anew. Lilly realizing her conflict. So yeah, there was 4 scenes there. Okay, so I guess there are only these. Look at that face! So you got that. This counts as a CG? Beautiful. So that's all of our CGs, and pretty much all the CGs, really. It feels like some of the in-game like CGs didn't get put in the CG mode, like that one where Hanako is sitting with Lilly and Asao at the table. Why doesn't that count as a CG? That bugs me, man. And the photo as well. You know, I was expecting another one of those scenes, because I remember at one point googling Lilly, like her character, and I remember seeing one of those CGs, but it didn't seem to appear at all. Or maybe it did. Let me just check. No, I can't see it being the one that I saw. Maybe it was fan art. I don't know. I have no idea. Either way it goes, full CG. LP finally complete. Except not really. Because I'm gonna go over all the CGs in the library and replay the movies, because this is one of those visual novels that surprisingly has those, so that's nice. Which makes it almost surprising, because this is like freeware stuff, right? But it's got so much to it compared to some of the ones that actually, you know, have to pay for. And then there's going over the music and all that, and then eventually make a bonus part with me playing music and all that. Man, I'm gonna miss LPing this. I mean, it's been almost an entire year. Wait. And that's 1, 2. 1, 2. Man, these are so jumbled together, I can't tell which one is for which character anymore. That's obviously Lilly. You got Rin. I think that one's Rin as well. From Rin's route, that is as well. Shizune. But each character has 4 acts. Hanako. Lilly. It's free. Emmy. Wait. 1, 2. Yeah. What the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 for Rin. Why is there only 3 for everyone else? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking at it properly. But yeah, I'll see you next time for the final part of the go over stuff and kind of yeah. Man, it feels so weird. This has been a long LP, and it isn't getting wrapped up just yet. But so this just like say, Lilly's route is pretty good, and I'm glad I saved it for last, because it feels more fitting. I mean, imagine if we was say Shizune's ending for last. I mean, Shizune's route wasn't bad. It was pretty decent, better than I was expecting it, considering it's apparently like one of the routes that like people didn't really like all that much. But I kind of liked it, but it feels more fitting to end with a route like Lilly's, because her route was kind of like pretty good. So yeah, see you next time for the final part, I guess. So see you next time, viewers. See you next time. Wait for the melody. See you next time, viewers. See you next time.